Hi kids, this is Miss Chiao. So we're going to go over the pre-lab procedures for chapter 3, building recombinant plasmid. So let's go over safety procedures first. First you need safety goggles on. Safety goggles goes on. Project manager, that is your job, and also making sure at the very end everybody washes their hands. Let's go over the reagents that you're going to have. If you remember correctly, in the freezer you should have your K+, K-, A+, and A-. However, the minuses are going to stay because we're not going to deal with them until chapter 4. So what you should have in your reagent rack is K+, A+, 5xB, which is the buffer, ligase for lig, and water, H2O. Let's go over what other supplies we're going to have. You're going to need a permanent marker for marking your ligase tube. You're going to have a centrifuge that the whole class shares. And then you're going to have a waste beaker. Let's have a pretend thing of tips for your P20 pipette. You're going to need and this is going to be shared within two groups, your waste and your water bath. This is our pretend water bath. Make sure that our water bath is 70 degrees Celsius. And that's all the equipment that we're gonna need. So let's go ahead and materials manager, make sure that everything in your rack you have your reagents. First thing you're gonna do, make sure the person who's in timing has a timer ready. You're gonna take your K+ and your A+ tubes. Make sure the lid is on tight, and then you are going to put them into the water bath. Timer goes on. The 70 degrees Celsius water bath you are going to put on for 30 minutes. While you are waiting for those 30 minutes, what should you do? Should you talk with your friends? Should you draw a picture? Should you sleep? Nope. If you answer no to all or any of those questions, great job. What you're going to be doing is the stop and think questions for doing that 30 minutes. The stop and think questions, there are going to be 2 questions. Why is it important to inactivate the BAMHI and HindIII restriction enzymes before ligating the fragments? What might happen if you do not perform this step? And also at the very end, you also go to the end of chapter 3 questions on page B30. So while that time, once the time is up, beep, 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 you are going to take out your A+ and your K-, A+ and your K+, tubes. If I can get them out of here. And you're going to put them back into your rack. Also during the 30 minutes, you need to take your permanent marker, get your ligase tube with your group number and class period. So the ligase tube, remember on the side, you need to put the period. So if this is going to be first period, you put 1, 0. And if it's going to be the third group, you're going to put number 3 for the third group. So this is first period and then group number. That's going to be inside of your tube. So in your ligase tube, once you have that labeled, we are going to add the following. You're going to add 4 microliters of A+, 4 microliters of K+, 3 microliters of 5xB, 2 microliters of distilled water or water. So you're going to take your ligase tube, you're going to take your pipettes. My solutions are going to be down here. So first I'm going to get a tip. Make sure it's adjusted at 4 microliters. Get 4 microliters, slowly release, come back out, put it in my ligase tube. Now remember, I'm changing solutions. I have to eject the tip, get a new tip. This time I'm going to get 4 microliters of K+. Take up K+, put it into ligase, eject the tip because I'm getting a new one. Next one is going to be 3 microliters of 5XB. So I'm going to get a new tip, 5XB, push down, get up, push out again into ligase, slowly come back up, release, eject tip. Last one. Get the tip, water. We're going to change it to 2 microliters. Get 2 microliters, put it in here. Now don't eject the tip yet because now you're going to mix it. Now remember, when we're mixing it, we are going to move and pump the solution up and down nice and slow. When you're done, make sure none of the liquid is in the tip. Take it out and eject it. Put the lid back on very tightly. And then you are going to make sure that all the liquid that you just mix it around goes to the bottom. So what you're going to do now is that we're going to centrifuge it. We're going to put the ligase tube in here. But can we centrifuge it by itself? No, because it's not balanced, right? Great job. So let's see how much it weighs. It's 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 3 is 11 plus 2 is 13 microliters. So that means you need to find another group that also has the same amount of ligase in order before you spin it. Or lucky for you, Miss Chiao will have an extra tube that will be labeled as BAL for balance. So we know it's 13 microliters to put in there. Now that it's balanced, we can go ahead and spin it. Okay. And then when it's done, you're going to open it. You're going to take out your ligase tube. And this ligase tube is going to go into your freezer rack. Remember, each period has corresponding group numbers for their freezer rack. So looking at this freezer rack here, my ligase tube, I can have extra room to put my ligase tube in group 1. And where are you going to find this freezer rack? In the freezer, so we keep this cold the entire time. So you actually need to send someone to go into the freezer, find your group number, and put it in the freezer rack. Okay, now that that's done, it's time for, oh yeah, and what else goes into the freezer rack as soon as you finish? It's going to be your A plus and your K plus tubes. Your K minus and K plus should already be in there. You're going to keep, so that we're going to put that in the freezer. You're going to keep the water in your rack that's at your table. The ligase tube was one that went in there, so that's not going to be there anymore. And your 5X buffer solution, you can go ahead and toss that into the waste container right here. And so that's it. Make sure you wash your hands. And thank you for listening. And I will see you guys tomorrow.